Hi, everyone. It is Monday, 16th of January. I hope you're all well. I hope you've had a great beginning of the new year this year. And today we're going to focus a little bit on the ankles and the calves. So to start, we'll start on the floor. If you have a pillow and you want to sit on a pillow, you can do that. Or if you have a block, you can use your block. So let's sit down. And bring your right foot in front of you. So sitting on your block or your pillow, right foot out in front of you. You'll take both hands. We won't be using the tennis ball today. You take both hands and you're going to place them around the ankle, just above the foot. And what I suggest first doing is just give it a squeeze and then move your hands upwards towards the knee, squeezing the calf, squeezing even in front where the bone is, that's your tibia, going all the way up until you get your thumbs behind the knee and squeeze. Then we start again, moving from the ankle and up the leg. So this is also done, by the way, in hospitals for people who might be bedridden for a few days. This type of massage needs to be done to make sure the lymph and the blood is circulating well. If ever you feel that your legs feel heavy or you're aching, this is a wonderful massage to do to help relieve the legs. So now, after having moved the hand up towards the knee 3 times, I want you to take the palms of both hands and place them on either side of the lower leg. So one on the inside, one on the outside, and you're just going to turn your hands and start going up and down the leg, just turning side to side, as if you're bringing the muscles around the leg, twisting it around the bones, up and down a few times. And by the way, these are also exercises that are quite good for the knees, because this helps to relieve tension and it helps to balance out the action of the muscle and the fascia around the knees. Now, with those hands, one on the inside of the knee, one on the outside, lift the toes of the right foot. So you're lifting it up, your heel is in the floor, and you'll simply turn your foot in and out. And this is twisting the lower leg, okay? It actually creates a rotation in the knee. If there's pain while you do this, please just make a smaller movement to where there is no pain. But this is a very important movement and mobility exercise for the knees, calves, and ankles. Back and forth. That's it. And now let's relax. Change legs. Bring your left foot out in front of you. And we'll start by bringing the hands around the lower ankle and just simply squeezing, moving up the leg. And it should feel really good. Going up to behind the knee, and then again, we do this 3 times. And this is actually physically moving the blood and the lymph as well as massaging the muscles and the fascia. One more time. Squeeze, moving up the leg until you reach behind the knee. Great. Now, the palms of the hands, one on the inside of the calf, one on the outside, and you just sort of turn the muscles around the tibia. There's also the fibula, but we don't feel the fibula because it's deep inside those muscles. Moving all the way down to the ankle and back up again. 3 times up and down. This helps to activate the muscles and the fascia in the lower leg and keeping everything healthy. There's a slide and glide of the fascia, which is important for movement. Okay, when you come back up to the knee, you can place the palm of the hand on the inner side, outer side, wrap your fingers around the knee, lift the toes of the left foot and turn the foot in and out. And it's that rotation that rotational movement of the tibia and fibula with your knee. And that moves the whole structure. For anyone that might have any knee issues, I would suggest doing this exercise every day, because it really helps to refine balance in the structure of the knee. One more time, side to side. Excellent. And release. Good job. Let's bring both knees to one side. If you're working with a block, just place it to the side. You could place the pillow to the side. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And let's do cat and cow. Take a deep breath in and curl, look skyward. Breathe out and round, look to your belly button. And again, we'll curl, looking skyward, and breathe out. 3 more times. Each time you do this, feel how the spine can move. Feel if there's any tension in your back and pay attention to it. And each time you breathe out, let go of that tension. Coming back to a flat back, let's open our knees, keep the toes touching each other, and sink back onto your heels into a child's pose. You can have your hands far out in front of you, forehead down to the floor, or hands under the forehead, and just rest here. And take a moment to internalize your sensations. Notice how you're feeling. Allow the breath to move in and out slowly, calmly. Good. Now lift your head and everyone stretch your arms out in front of you. Palms are down, fingers spread, but not too wide, just enough to have a natural position of the hands. Rise up onto the knees. Tucking the toes under, let's rise into a downward dog or crouching cat, somewhere between the two, with your knees that are soft and bent. And let's begin pedaling the feet. When you pedal and you straighten out one leg, push the heel down and notice the sensation of the stretching of the calf. So go ahead and push one heel down, then the other, and let those calves open up. Then warm up, get the ankles moving. Now from here, stretch your legs, not completely straight, keeping the knees slightly bent. Let's turn both toes to the right. So make sure there's a space between your feet. So when you turn your toes, you've got space here. Knees are bent, and we're going to bounce. Let the hips go back towards the heels and come back. Back towards the heels and come back. And this movement really helps to warm and move the blood and the lymph in your calves and ankles. One more bouncing down and up. Turn your feet forward. Lower your knees now. Point your toes. Grab a hold of your calves and move them out towards the outer edges of your mat. So you kind of roll the calves out. Sink down onto your heels and bring your hands under your head. And there's a pressure that happens in the calves. If this is difficult to get down into a full bend of the knee, you just stay up on your elbows and let your head rest. Okay? From here, rise back up, hands to the front edge of the mat again, fingers spread, tuck the toes under, and let's go back to down dog. Knees are soft, pedal again. Right and left foot, pressing the heel down. Feel that stretch in the calves. In yoga, we say that we have 3 hearts. One is the heart we give away. One is the heart that we have beating in our chest. And one is the heart we have in our calf muscles, because the calf muscles help to pump the blood up and throughout the rest of the body. Okay. Open up your feet a little bit, bend your knees, and turn your toes to the left this time. Here we go. We're bouncing down and up, getting those hearts and the calf muscles to pump the blood back up towards your beating heart. Let's go. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn the toes forward. Whoo, bring your knees down softly. Take your calf muscles, move them out to the side. See if you can sink down. Go as far down as possible. Hands underneath the forehead, or you can be on your elbows and just rest here for a moment. Few deep, slow breaths. Looking forward, reset your hands. Coming back up, tuck your toes under one more time. And begin stepping your feet forward, coming to the front edge of your mat. Once you're there, separate your feet hip width, knees bent. Grab a hold of your elbows and just float over your thighs. Swinging from side to side now, getting a stretch through the low back and the waist. Come back to center, let your arms drop. Roll the right and left shoulders. Then turn your head from right to left for a little no. Then up and down for a little yes. Bend your knees nicely, hands to thighs. Begin rolling up to standing. Pull the belly in tightly, rounding the spine, tucking your hips under as you come up to a standing position. And here's where we're going to find our perfect posture. Feet hip width. Knees are soft, but legs are strong. Your hips curl back slightly. That creates a nice curve in your low back. We do not want to tuck the hips under. We want to keep the hips in a natural curve. Chest and ribs lifting, shoulders opening wide to the side. So you should feel like your shoulders open to the side. You don't have to press them back. You just have to bring them out wide. Chin is parallel to the floor. Now here, we also want to have our arms straight. With age and time, we tend to have bent arms and we don't straighten them out enough. When you straighten your arms out, it contracts the tricep muscles and releases the tendons of the biceps. So we want to look for straight arms in our perfect posture, okay? It's also going to help to keep the shoulders wide and back. Hands come to the heart center. Now we're going to start moving. Your heart rate will rise. That's okay. If it's too much, you can come back to your perfect posture and take a couple deep breaths and then join again. So from here, let's take a deep breath in, raise the arms and stretch skyward. Folding, bring your elbows to your knees, hips go back. Set your fingertips down and then step back to a plank position. Palms down, head lifted, look forward. From here, lower the knees softly. Bring your chest down to the earth slowly. Point your toes and lengthen your legs out. Press the tops of the toes down. That helps to contract the fronts of your legs. Rise up to a cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees. Tucking your toes under. Let's rise to down dog or crouching cat. Right here, raise your right leg. Everyone raise it high. See if you can get the leg straight and allow the left heel to come down towards the floor. This creates a huge stretch in the calf. Then bend the right knee and kick the foot forward as far as possible for you. If you're only halfway up the mat, that's fine. You walk the rest of the way forward, feet parallel, bend your knees, hands to thighs, rise up to a chair. When you're in chairs, pause here, stretch your arms far behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades, then raise them up to a full chair position. Then coming up to standing, arms stretched by your sides for that activation of the triceps. Chest lifted, perfect posture. Good. Hands to heart center. We'll go again. Deep breath in, rise. Folding forward. Stepping back to the plank. Lower your knees. Lower yourself down. Pointing your toes, lengthen out. Press the tops of the feet down, rise to a cobra. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees first. Then take down dog or crouching cat. Lift your left leg. The leg is straight. Lift it up. Let the right heel move down to the floor. Hold. Then bend the left knee. Swing the left leg forward. Step the rest of the way forward. Bend your knees, hands to thighs. Lifting up. Pause in the chair. Get yourself nicely in a chair, hips back. The weight is more in the heels in a chair position. Swing your arms back, then up by your ears, and all the way up to standing, perfect posture, arms straight. A little bit faster. Let's go. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Hold it. Stepping back to plank. Knees come down. Move yourself down. Point your toes. Lengthen out. Rise to cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Right leg comes up. Left heel to the floor. Swing it forward. Stepping the rest of the way forward. Hands to thighs. Rise. Swing your arms back. Then by your ears. And up to standing. Perfect posture. Good. Hands to heart center. Keep going. Deep breath in. Folding. Stepping back to plank. Lower your knees. Lower your chest. Point your toes, lengthen out. Press down and rise. Cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Left leg rises. Bring the right heel down and swing it forward. Stepping the rest of the way forward. Hands to thighs, rise to chair, arms swing back, up by your ears, to standing, stretch your arms by your sides. Hands to heart center, keep going. Deep breath in, rise. Folding forward, stepping back to plank. Excellent. Moving down, bring your knees down, and cobra. Good. Pushing back, down dog or crouching cat. Raise the right leg, stretch it up and push the left heel to the floor. Yes. Swing it forward. Aha. Coming up into chair, swing your arms back first. Good. Then by your ears, lift. Good. Now all the way up to standing. Excellent. And again, deep breath in, rise. Good job, everyone. Folding forward. Excellent. Stepping back to plank. Really nice. Lift your head in plank and then move down to the floor. Cobra. Pushing back and up and into down dog or crouching cat. Good. Raise your left leg up. Pause for a moment, pressing your right heel down. Then bend the knee. Good job. Swing it forward. Excellent. Coming up into chair. Raise your arms behind you first and then up by your ears. That's it. Good. And all the way up to standing. Excellent. We're going to add on to all of this. Hands to your heart center. Stick with it. Deep breath in. Let's go. Folding forward. Step back to plank and pause. Pause here. Now, open your feet a little wider than usual. Everyone turn both heels to your right, and raise your left arm. If you can only do it just for a second, just for a second. Now, if you need to do it, if it's too much, come back to plank, okay? And lower your knees. If you can stay here, I want you to see if you can flex both feet. So you're on the outer edge of the right foot and the inner edge of the left foot. They're pressing down, your legs are fully straight. Okay, come back to plank, everyone. Lower the knees. Bring in one push-up. Let's go. Chest comes down to the floor and push back up. All right, let's move all the way down. Point your toes, lengthen out, rise to cobra. Whoo, push back to down dog or crouching cat. Ah, all right. Raise your right leg up. Now, flexing your foot, bring the right leg out to the right. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Raise the right leg back up to the sky, bend the knee, kick it forward. Stepping the rest of the way forward, bend your knees low, hands to thighs, lift the chest. As before, swing your arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades, raise the arm next to the ears, and come all the way up to standing, arms stretched by your sides. Perfect posture. Yeah. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Fold it forward. Stepping back to plank. Open your feet. Spin your heels now to the left. If you can only stay for 1 second, just do it 1 second. If you can stay longer, flex both feet so you're on the outer edge of the left foot, inner edge of the right. It's like you're standing on a diagonal wall. 3, 2, good. 1, hands come down. Lower your knees. Whoo. 1 push-up. You can skip the push-up if it's too much. Moving down. Point your toes, lengthen out. Cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Raise your left leg up. Bring the left leg out to the side. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Back up behind you, bend the knee, swing it forward. Stepping the rest of the way forward. Hands to thighs, lift. Swing your arms behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Raise them up by your ears. And then all the way up to standing. We have 2 more rounds, ladies. Let's stick with it. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise. Folding. Stepping back to plank. Ay, ay, ay. Open your feet. Heels to the right. Raise your left arm. Flex your feet. Holding. 3, 2, strong legs. 1, bring your hands down. Knees come down. 1 push-up. All the way to the floor. Point your toes, lengthen to cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Right leg comes up, straighten the leg. Bring it out to the right. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Back up behind you, bend the knee. Swing it forward. Stepping the rest of the way forward. Hands to thighs. Chair. Swing your arms back. And then up by your ears, all the way to standing. Last round, hands to heart center. Let's go, deep breath in, rise. Fold it forward, all the way down. Stepping back to your plank, excellent. Open your feet. Spin your heels to the left, raise your right arm, that's it. Holding, 3, good. 2, if you have to come out of it a little earlier, it's fine. 1, coming back to plank, knees come down. Ay, 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 1 push up. Come on, bring back the energy and then all the way down, point your toes to cobra. And down dog or crouching cat. This is the last round. Squeeze every ounce of energy out of there. Raise your left leg up. Bring it out to the left. Holding, 3. Come on, you can do it. 2, that's great. 1, lift the leg up behind you, bend the knee, swing it forward. Good job, stepping the rest of the way forward, hands to thighs, swing your arms back, next to your ears, and all the way up to standing. Oh, well done, good. Hands, right hand to your chest, left hand to your belly. Take a few deep breaths here. and just calm your heart rate down. If you wish, you could close your eyes. Make sure the breaths are still in and out of the nose. That's the ideal, in and out of the nose. And it's the ribs, chest, and upper back moving. Keep your belly and your core strong and lifted. Okay. Hands come to your hips. If you're on the mat, take a big step back till you're at the center of your mat. Raise your right knee and grab around the knee. Drop the shoulders and open the shoulders to the sides so it lifts your chest. Lift your chin and lengthen your neck. Hold here. The right foot is flexed, like you're stepping up onto a stair. Then bring your left hand onto your left hip. Open your knee out to the right. Turn your head to the left. Hold the position. Set your gaze at one point. 3, 2, 1. Look forward. Bring the knee forward again and lower the knee softly to the earth. Good. Lifting the left knee up, grab around the knee, drop the shoulders, lift the chest. Flex your left foot as if you're stepping up onto a stair. Set your gaze and hold. Right hand to the right hip. Open your knee out to the left as far as possible, keeping the chest lifted. Keep your hips back. Be sure you don't tuck your hips under. And turn your head to the right. Look over your right shoulder. The standing leg is soft. The knee is soft. Good. Turn your head back to front. Bring the knee back and lower it down to the earth. Nicely done. Kick up your right foot and grab the right ankle with your right hand. Flexing the foot. Lift your chest. Bring your hand to your belly so you make sure that your belly is pulled in and up. Your breath is still in the chest and in the ribs. Raise your left arm. If you would like, begin lifting the right leg behind you. If, however, you've got some situation in the hip, I would recommend you just stay here. If the hip is okay, lift the leg behind you, let the chest lift. Open your toes of your right foot and we hold. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring the knee back down and lower the foot. Excellent. Left leg. Kick it up. Grab hold of the ankle. Raise your right arm. Lift the chest. Flex your left foot. So you've got that ankle engaged. You can feel it in the hand. All of those tendons and muscles in there, all engaged. If you want, raise the leg behind you. Raise your eyes, raise your chest. Holding and breathing. Releasing. Bring the foot back down. Bring the arm down. Good job. Hands to your hips. Bend your right knee and bring it out to the side. Tree pose. Ankle a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Raise your arms in a V position. Lift the chest. Keep the legs strong and stable. And be free in your upper body. Lengthen. Grow from the hips skyward. Hands come down to the hips and lower the foot. Good. Left knee bends out to the side. Ankle a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Raising the arms, stretch skyward, opening the palms, lift your chin. Set your gaze at one point. Breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Wonderful. Hands to hips and lower the foot. Okay, shake out a little bit, everyone. And place the top of the toes of the right foot on the floor. And just to get a stretch of the front ankle, press down softly without pain. You should feel the stretch, but please don't move into any pain in the stretch. And let's release it and shake out. Other side. Tops of the toes down, push. Very soft, very soft. No pain, but you should feel a stretch. And shake out. Okay. Last posture. Standing posture. Place your right foot on top of your left thigh, just above the left knee. You'll bend both knees and you'll let your hips sink back like you're sitting into a small chair. Hands to your heart center. And then bring the thumbs to the crown of the head. Lift your chin, lift your elbows, and look skyward. And hold this position 3, 2, 1. Release, coming back down. It's a big challenge for the ankles, big challenge for the calves. Other side. The left foot comes up on top of the right thigh. Bend both knees, let your hips sink back. All right, hands to heart center. And then to the crown of the head. Lift your chest, chin, and eyes, and look skyward, and we hold. 3, 2, 1. Releasing, good job. Step again to the front edge of your mat. Hands to heart center. We're going to move to our plank position to work the core. Deep breath in, rise. Folding, elbows come to knees, and step back to your plank position. Okay. Lifting the head, open your shoulders. So careful of the forward head position. A lot of us have tendencies to let the head drop in plank. You want to lift the head so that engages the back of the neck and it keeps good posture for you. If it's too much, lower your knees. Keep the belly pulled in tight and be sure you're pulling the belly in but also lifting your perineum. Your breath is in the chest and ribs and at the diaphragm, but no lower. Keep the belly and perineum lifted. 3 more breaths. 3, 2, good job. 1, lower your knees, lower the chest softly. Hands under the forehead and move your hips from side to side to relax and let go. Okay. Separate your feet wide. So as wide as the mat is a good measure. Lift up the head, chest, and shoulders. And we're going to do some mobility for the shoulders, as well as an upper back work for our postures. First movement, you keep the head lifted and bring your hands behind your head as much as possible, like to make an X with your hands. Then bring your arms down, pulling the elbows down, lift the chest. We'll do that again. This time, place the other hand above. So I started right hand on top of the left for my X. Now we're doing left hand on top of the right. And then pull the elbows down. Lift your head. Again, right on top of the left, the X. And then pull the elbows down. Left on top of the right. And pull the elbows down. One more time each side. Right hand on top of the left. Pull the elbows down. And left hand on top of the right. Whoo, pull the elbows down. Good. Hands under the forehead. And relax. If you need to, move your hips from side to side. You can also turn your head from right to left to relax the neck and the upper back. Okay. Keeping your head on your hands, raise both legs now. We're gonna bend the knees, then straighten, then bring the heels to touch each other, and then separate again. So we bend, straighten, touch the heels, and separate the feet. 3 more times. Bend, straighten, touch the heels, separate. 2 more. Woo! Touch the heels, separate. Last one. Bend the knees. Yes. Straighten, touch the heels, separate and lower the legs. Good job. Move the hips from side to side to relax and let go. Lift your head, reach your arms far out in front of you, and we'll walk the elbows back till we get into a Sphinx position. Push the shoulders down, lift the chest. We'll hold here for a moment. There's a big compression that goes on in the low back. If it's too much, open your elbows a bit to lower down. Just find where it works for you, okay? Now we're going to bring the left hand where the right elbow is, and we'll reach around behind us and grab our right foot. So bend the right knee, grab the right foot with the right hand. If it's too much, you could use a strap around the ankle, or just grab the ankle, tops of the toes, or you can pull the heel in as far as possible. Turn your chest forward, let your hip lower towards the earth. Maybe you won't get it down, that's okay, but see if you can bring the hip down as far as possible. Release this position, walk your hands back out in front of you, and then hands under the forehead and move the hips from side to side to let go. Good. Stretching the arms back out in front, walk the elbows back, lifting up into Sphinx pose. Again, take an option if there's too much compression at the low back. Right hand turns in towards the left elbow. Pick up your left foot, reach around and grab a hold. Take the option that's best for you. Lower the left hip, turn the chest forward, and we hold. Releasing slowly. Walk the hands forward again, lowering the chest, and bring the hands in underneath the forehead. Move your hips from side to side to let go. Bending both knees, flex your feet. Open up your toes at the same time. Reach your hands around to touch the heels. Push the heels into the hands, squeeze the glutes, lift the chest, and we hold. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees back down, hands under the shoulders, push up onto the hands and knees. Walk your hands off the right hand side of the mat and press your hips back. Get a good stretch down the side body. And let's bring our hands off the left hand side, hips pressed back. And let's release. Turn your knees to one side to come to a seated position. Bring yourself into a seated position facing me or facing the device. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. You could grab the ankles or around the bottoms of the feet. Lift your chest and softly begin bending forward. If you can only go a little way, that's fine. Allow your knees to open, allow the hips to soften, and each time you breathe out, let go of tension. Lifting back up. Okay. Bring your left foot in towards your your right hip. Okay, it's like we're going to get in a cross-legged position. Now, here's where you need to choose. The foot can either be in front of the tibia of the left leg, okay, the right foot in front of the tibia, or on top of the calf, or if it's comfortable, on top of the thigh. Find where it's good for you, okay? I can get my foot on my thigh, but it feels like it's too much today, so I'm gonna bring it onto my calf. Hands behind you, lift your chest and let your right knee open. Hold it, lift and open the throat. 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to push against our hands to bend forward from the hips. Very strong stretch of the IT bands and the outer hips. Go as far as is comfortable and good for you without pushing yourself over the edge, right? We want to step up to the cliff edge and admire the view, but we don't want to jump over the cliff edge. So just get to that point where you're admiring the view. Okay, let's release. Lift both knees up, feet flat on the floor, hands behind you again. Rock your knees to the right, come back to center, to the left, back to center, one more time, right, and left. Good. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Let your knees open, and let's move forward once again. This is the butterfly position to start with. Deep breaths. Nice and easy hip openers we're doing right now. Lifting back up. This time it's your right foot that goes towards the left hip, as if we're going to take a cross-legged position. Now, the left foot is either on the floor in front of you, on your calf, or on your thigh. Whatever is most comfortable, find it. Find where it is. Hands behind you, lift the chest, and let that left knee open and move towards the floor. Hold here for a moment. And then push against your hands to lean forward, feeling that stretch in the hips, down the outsides of the legs, maybe a bit in the knees, but please, no pain. Pain would be jumping off the cliff edge. Going just up to the cliff edge to take a look and admire the view is getting into some effort, but no pain. Deep breathing. Excellent. Lifting back up. Let's lift the knees, feet flat on the floor. Let the knees fall to the left and then to the right. Softly, just flushing it out. Good. Come back to center, and we're going to turn on our mats and we roll down onto our backs. Bring your hands behind your thighs, rolling down. Feet hip width, head on the floor. Arms will be down by your sides and roll up onto the backs of your arms. So you kind of open up the chest and lift the chest up. Lift your hips halfway up, and we're going to do a work for the perineum. You'll take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze your knees together. Pull the perineum up towards the belly button. Breathe in, open your knees. Same thing. Breathe out, squeeze and pull up. Breathe in, opening the knees. Keep going, breathing out, squeeze and pull up. Breathing in, open the knees. Breathing out. Breathing in. 3 more times. Last one. Bring your hips down, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Raise your arms over your head and rest here for a moment. Lifting the knees back up, separate your feet hip width. Elbows come into the floor, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Rise up to a half bridge pose, lengthening your neck. Use your glutes and your thighs. The whole front of the body is opening up. And take some deep, slow breaths here. Go as high as is comfortable for you. At the same time, your perineum is lifting. Your lower abdomen is strong. The breath is up underneath the rib cage, not any lower. You don't want to push down. You want to keep everything up and lifting. One more deep breath in. Then raise your arms over your head and lower your vertebra down one at a time. Very, very slowly until the entire back is on the floor. Once you're all the way down, open your feet again as wide as the mat. Let your knees fall to your right. Hold for a moment. Raise one knee at a time and let your knees fall to your left. Good. Raising one knee at a time. Bring your knees up to your chest and let's rock from side to side. So for the next posture, you could use a pillow or a block. If you do not have a pillow or a block nearby, you could take your mat and roll it up so that it creates a lifted position of just a couple of centimeters and place it underneath your hips. Sometimes just a couple of centimeters is enough, okay? If you have a pillow nearby, use a pillow, or if you have a block nearby, use a block. Lift your hips up, place your hips on the block, or the pillow, or the rolled up part of the mat, and stretch your legs to the sky. So here is our inversion, where we're inverting the effect of gravity on our legs, our ankles, and our calves. And what is happening is gravity is pulling the liquid down out of our feet, ankles, calves, and even the upper thighs, and recirculating it through the body. And we're going to help it along a little bit. Remember the story about the 3 hearts, and our calves are the 3rd heart. Here's where we're helping it along. We're going to pump by flexing the feet and pointing. Flexing and pointing. So when we flex, we stretch. When we point, we contract. And this is like pumping the blood back up through the veins. The veins actually do not have any pumping mechanism. They don't have contracting muscles. They do have valves, and they work with pressure. So inverting yourself, the legs up, is creating that pressure with gravity. If it's difficult to hold your legs up, use your hands behind your sides. And we'll do this for about 2 minutes. And it can be really effective. If you find yourself with your legs that feel heavy, or if it feels tight around your ankles, if you tend to get water buildup or lymph buildup around the ankles, this exercise is amazing to do every day. One more pump. Now, keeping your feet flexed, keeping the hips stable, softly begin pulling your legs towards you so we can get a stretch down the backs of the legs. Take deep, slow breaths here. If you're able, grab behind the calves or maybe even the big toes. And we hold. Bring the legs back up, perpendicular to the floor, and bend your knees. Make a couple circles with your feet. Good. Set your feet on the floor, lifting your hips, bring the block to the side or the pillow, or flatten out your mat, whichever you used. Get yourself into a position for Shavasana. And let's first lift the right knee up, grab a hold with the left hand, and get into a spinal twist. Right arm stretches out to the side. Keep the shoulders down. The knee goes over to the left. Good. We're just cooling down the body, cooling down the mind, prepping yourself for relaxation. Come back onto your back. Lift the head, nose to the knee, and switch legs. Left knee bends up to the chest. Grab it with the right hand. Spinal twist. The knee goes to the right. Your left arm out to the left. Rolling back onto your back. Squeeze that left knee to the chest. Head lifts, nose to the knee. Then lift both knees up, squeeze them tightly against you. Nose between the knees. And lower your head, stretching your legs onto your mat. If you need to, cover yourself, your shoulders, your tummy, your legs. Palms turn to the sky, opening up the chest. Allow your toes to fall outwards towards the outer edges of your mat. And begin taking deep, slow breaths. And bring your attention to your feet and your legs. And relax the feet, ankles, all the way up to the knees and the hips. Bringing your attention now to your hands and your arms. Relax from the tips of your fingers to your wrists, elbows, all the way up to the shoulders. And from your hips, up the belly, the waist, the low back, the ribs, chest and upper back. And allow the shoulders to soften. Now the neck and the jaw. Muscles in the face, especially around the mouth, around the eyes and the eyebrows. Soften your scalp and even your hair. And find yourself floating in warm cushions, supporting you and relaxing you. And again, to take deep, slow breaths. And begin moving your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, raise your arms over your head, stretching from fingers to toes. Lifting the knees up to the chest, squeeze the knees to the chest. Rock a bit from side to side. Good. Roll all the way to your right-hand side. Setting your hands down, lift from the side. Come to a seated position. Nicely done. Let's rub our hands together. Bring your hands over your face, softly caressing the face, tapping around the eyes. This helps to stimulate the muscles of the face. And shake your hands out. This time, we'll rub our hands together. And I want you to bring your fingers just at your neck and bring them over one side of the face until you're just underneath the chin. And then the other side, lifting up towards the chin. It also helps to stimulate the muscles, and it might help to stimulate a little bit the collagen in our necks. Then shake out. Bring your hands to the heart center. Everyone have a lovely afternoon. Thanks for joining. Namaste.